What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. If you pulled up this video and you just expect to hear complaining and how the XYZ festival is terrible, I have had more fun during this event since any Yu-Gi-Oh! Since the Crush card started and we got locked inside and went to remote duels. In years, I have not had this much fun with Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's start with the positives. Konami did a custom crafted ban list for this event, really taking the metagame into account that is within Master Duel, and they said, you know what, Eldritch? Herald, you're out of here, you're done, you're gone. I thought we would be playing against Drytrons that were a bit weaker, that couldn't send Herald from the extra deck, couldn't go into the Link Revo play. Instead, they decimated the Herald rituals as well and said, you know what, we think you're gonna be XYZ summoning. The only boring stun deck that I have seen actually get through the cracks has been Phantasm Spirals, playing skill drains and ignoring everything. Technically, they could go into Bahamut Shark, but you know they never are. But my main complaint is actually the reward structure, and I'm not talking gem payout. It's been amazing. I went from 1,700 gems in my account to over 7,000 through this event with the actual payback structure from the last competitive season where I hit Plat 1, as well as the login bonus, and the rewards have been amazing. The problem is, you get nothing for winning. It's Chuck E. Cheese's everybody's a winner, which has led to the Sutff OTK decks taking away from the fun aspect of the event, but I still managed to have fun with those Sutff OTK players, and I'll show you how. But looking through the rewards, I'm through a lot of them, right? And my match history, I've been doing pretty good. I've got a lot of wins under my belt, but you see some of these turn ones, that's players who managed to maybe self-OTK or get through there, or they saw me activate boss stage and scooped because they heard I'm making people take so long in order to get through those games that are trying to grind out the gems and just go through. So if you didn't know, basically a loss with your own deck is 50 medals, and then a win is 100 medals, so people can just go through the losses faster and claim all the rewards. Simple solution. All I want at the end of the day is a dual field and a dual mate, as Konami calls them. I call them dual buddies. You know the little rescue rabbit, Sangan, Ash Blossom to the side? I don't think this is greedy. 2 cosmetics to say you had a winning record by the end of the event and completed it. Good job. Whenever Konami takes into consideration both the competitive and casual community at the same time, they have created some of the best hands-down products that they've ever made in the physical TCG. And with this event, it seems they went relatively casual for their first one. And looking at what people are doing, I hope it's not just a tweak to their future ban list, because one of the fusion cards they're using to pay half their life points will probably actually be played by Cyber Dragon Duelist in the Fusion Cup mayhaps. So, other creators are bringing this up. Farfa is playing a funny heal deck, and that's not the wrestling heals. He's actually healing his opponent's life points as they go. I have a different solution, but if you're not familiar with the Sutff OTK, the Cybernetic Fusion allows you to pay half your life points. Lucky Punch, you're paying 6,000 by the time it's destroyed and you hit it yourself with MST. You play like Giant Kozaki as well as one of the Gizmex, not Gizmex, wow, that's ancient. The Maju Mechs, I believe they're actually called, where it goes to the grave and hits you for 2,400 in the end phase, and thus, you're getting to activate your spells, traps, and monsters, but your opponents aren't for their gem rewards unless they're able to chain them or react them very fast. People are all figuring out this today. This was actually the Duel Live I had to watch for the day, too. But I am playing Generators, and I'll show you my updated list for the event towards the end of this video. What I'm able to do, the serpent that wraps the world, my main XYZs of the deck, is able to force them to draw and attach a material. Har is then able to go, you know what, if you have a monster, send it to the graveyard, stopping cards like Garbage Lord, and he's also a negate on the field, and I back it with Omni negates that I would already play in the deck, like Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi, which will stop an activation period, allowing me to really go through these players and force them to play out quite a few turns. I've had 5 of them rage quit on me in the event, and 3 when I activate boss stage went, you know what? I'm not gonna sit through that one. So I've been really able to push the envelope and have fun with these players in my own way, but I know that Generators are actually a pretty high intensity amount of crafting points or effort to go through for a deck if you don't love it, and I've fallen in love with this deck. I even found the new ruling during this tournament. I can take out Crooked Cook with a right shark behind it in the deck. I'll go over that in a second. So, again, the reward structure is my major complaint with this. I don't think that there's anything else Konami could have done seeing the ban list. Maybe they could emergency update it, but I wouldn't ask that of them. Just in the future, provide something for the competitive players and give a reason to compete besides increasing your count. Because if there's no reason to compete outside of that world's level tournament as we continue on through these events and festivals, then what are we doing besides increasing our account? What's the difference between this and a slower, nicer looking legacy of the Duelist? My second complaint, though, really is these legacy packs. It was way better for this event than previous, but you're not allowed to do the crafting points even though they're a special event pack. I suppose I get a special memory actually with this event. I pulled a royal rare beginning of the entire event, Adrius personally. I pulled this guy, royal rare, royal finish out of the pack. So here's my Generaider deck, and we'll go over that in a second. Going through these, though, I have like 6 of the Summon Skull XYZ. I did pack 3 Crooked Cooks. Maybe I'll play the Meme Exodia deck at some point on stream. But the packs at this point, since it's a limited time pack, it's not a permanent pack, crafting points are completely missing. You have crafting points when we're looking at the Duel Pass and other aspects of this game. All we're getting are a lot of gems, and it would have been cool to play into the crafting point aspect with, you're probably not going to play these XYZs. Sure, go ahead. You can get rid of them. This is, when I pulled this Royal Rare on stream, everybody was freaking out. They were like, oh, it's so pretty. It's amazing. Look what you got. And I was like, can I get the crafting points? And we figured out we couldn't. So, looking through my decks, I'll talk about the interactions. Drone Lockbird, by far, the most underestimated hand trap in the entire game. Really good against Drytron, which you don't have to worry about in this, but so many people don't expect Droll, and whenever they have Crossout Designator, they're almost never stopping it. 3 Max Cs, 3 Lone Fires, which get you to Mardell's. I would probably play one more if I had it, but I'm low on crafting points right now. 3 Lopter, they are super rares, and then a lot of this is normal or rare, although hella super, you only really need the one. You have the Generaider Boss Castle, he's a rare, and then Har. I love this guy, and so his effect actually affects the opponent when you make them send the monster rather than the card. So if you can actually get your opponent, such as the Shark deck, which doesn't have a great resource game, in order to send their monsters, and you combo it with this every single turn, making them send a monster both on your turn and their turn, they eventually run out and they have to send their own Crooked Cook. In theory, this would also work on the Arrival at Ignister boss monster, huge, unaffected by things. Well, this can actually force that monster into the graveyard, and they spend their resources in that deck to where they may not have another monster to send. I did not know that one before the event, and I loved picking this up. Har, by far, is your boss monster. I do have Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Lightning Storms. I expected more back row decks. I've run into a bit of Numeron. I ran into 1 Dinosaur, but I stomped them into the ground, and those were the decks I really expected more of, along with Lyrilusk Tri-Brigade, or Zoo, my bad. Tri-Brigade does pretty much nothing in this event. Zodiac Lyrilusk is a deck I expected a lot more of, but I've only run into 1, and I would say that's the only deck better than this for the event. This deck has really showed up and out. Boss stage, it triggers so easily, and it gets you to these huge monsters and huge rank 9s. I feel like no one else is on a rank 9 in the tournament for the most part. World Legacy Monstrosity, if you start with Lone Fire or a Lopter that's not disrupted, you have Calamities on board turn 1. What everyone was scared of in the event, I'm actually doing to them while nobody else is. I do only have 1 boss fight. I suppose I might be able to craft more of them after this, but I'm on the Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi instead for now. Generaider Boss Room can't be understated. So many times they try to chain Ash Blossom or Max C to your boss stage, and this will just take it out. A new addition to my deck I was not playing on stream is actually the F-Zero package, and it has come up so much thanks to 9 Lives Cat. Whenever they hand trap me turn 1 and put a hand trap in the graveyard, 9 Lives Cat can get your rank 9 9 back yourself, you then overlay it with your Mardell with the monstrosity, and you have set up a Calamities plus 9 lives cat, which you likely next turn will go into another rank 9, and then be able to F0 after, say, popping 2 of their cards or doing something to them. I don't go into the big spider package a lot. Zeus does come up a lot, though, as well as Sacred Beast. Tree Beast Hype Proton. This card is pretty good, and you can get it to attach any kind of card within this deck with relative ease, since you can activate this whenever you like, and you'll get a trap to the graveyard pretty easy with Boss Fight. Let me know what you think of the XYZ Festival. Have you dealt with the self-OTK decks? Are they hurting the fun a little for you? Are you figuring out ways to have fun with these guys that are trying to power through the rewards? And what else would you like to see from the event? Because again, I've had so much fun. It's been great for my account, but you have to reward both the casual and competitive communities for these things. And it's as simple, very simple, as say a dual field and a little dual buddy, a little cosmetic something. Make people play for something instead of going for, okay, I'll get the rewards, and let those people do that if they so wish, but give something to people actually trying. Thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation, at least, whether you agree or disagree with me. And again, I want to hear your thoughts on the XYZ Festival, because I've had so much fun. I'm about to dive back in and get the rest of those rewards.